Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It is Rick Kamla. It is FSWA Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. It is the OGs with a late night fantasy goodie rendezvous for everybody out there here on New Year's Day. We will be recapping what the hell are we doing here? We're going to be recapping the New Year's Eve games. We're going to be recapping the games played on January 1st as well. So, Doc, what the heck, man? What's up? Happy New Year, dude.
Happy New Year, Rick. Happy New Year, everybody. Dude, let's just, I'm having a night, right? Like, I had trouble getting in front of this camera in time. There were some issues. Outside people playing mind games with me. But what would have happened if Georgia and Notre Dame had actually played tonight and I was all wrapped up in that right now? Like, I don't know. But you know what? We got football tomorrow at 4 p.m. and I'm fired up about it.
Me too, dude. Me too. So a little rendezvous and another burrito for Cam. I can't. It's too easy. I can't. Before the show, Doc said whoever says rendezvous first wins a Moe's burrito. And I mean, it was just too easy. I said it right at the top. I go first. I'm the host. I bring the show in. I'm not even accepting the burrito. It's too easy.
If I didn't do it in my opening line, I'm toast, and I didn't do it. I forgot about it.
We didn't have a chance to even compete right there.
When I told you that, I was at my neighbor's house. I was at my neighbor's house, so I told you that far away. Now I'm here, and that was another world ago. So, congratulations! I can't wait to buy you a burrito.
Andre Lemouche says the burrito count is Rick 3, Doc 2. So I'll just accept whatever those numbers are. If something comes up, Doc, you create a chance to get your burrito back here or even it out.
Tell me about Bet Online.
I was just going to do that. Thank you for the setup. Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for online betting, and they proudly present Cam and Doc and the Bicker Fest late night here on Fantasy NBA Today. They've got the earliest odds, which is so freaking important to in-game live betting. Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. Why are early odds important? Because the earlier you see the odds, the earlier you have an opportunity to monetize your vibes and make money, okay? They have the largest selection of odds, everything from pro and college football, pro and college basketball, NHL, UFC, and a whole bunch more. Go to Bet Online today, and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. You're welcome. Bet Online, the game starts here. Doc, before we break down New Year's Day, we got to break down New Year's Eve, okay? 12/31. And your boy, I did not watch any basketball on New Year's Eve, Doc. I will tell the world this right now.
So neither one of us has watched any basketball yet.
No, I watched basketball today. I just didn't watch basketball.
Why we're real and everybody else is fake, right? Nobody else will tell you. We're getting ready to tell you about basketball, but we didn't see any of it. Nobody else will tell you that. Just us.
Well, we are real. I did see basketball today. I just didn't see last night. Doc, it's New Year's Eve. You know how I roll on New Year's Eve. Doc, where am I every single New Year's Eve of my life? Where am I?
It's football.
No, I'm at a concert every single New Year's Eve. I go out and watch music. So I was seeing Papadocio last night in St. Pete. So I followed the NBA, but I didn't watch the NBA last night. Tonight, I did plug into the NBA and was able to watch. So, Doc, let's get to the Magic Men. Doc was busy playing Golden Tee, probably a little bit of Jenga, maybe some Monopoly. I don't damn know. But, Doc, let's go back to New Year's Eve. Who was your Magic Man from New Year's Eve? Got a lot of choices here. SGA popped. Austin Reeves was awesome. Giannis was awesome. Jaren Jackson Jr. was awesome. You go first.
Well, Anthony Edwards is telling us that SGA is the MVP. He might be right. Best player, best team, best record. It's all the puzzle pieces are coming together. But as Lee Corso once said, not so fast. Karl Anthony Towns, 31 points, 21 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, a steal, 3 threes. Knicks win. Knicks win. Knicks win. They're 24-10, dude. Karl Anthony Towns, when I saw him going to New York and being in the spotlight and having the pressure of the Garden on him, I was like, hey, he might melt or welt like a little leaf. Dude, he's balling and he's got that and the whole team has that and they're like, we're all playing 45 minutes. We don't care. Tommy, send us out there. I can't even put words in. Karl Anthony Towns has earned all my respect this year.
He has as well. So Doc went with a combined Magic Man. Going back to January or December 31st, my Magic Man that night was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 40 points on, I think it was 15 of 23 or 17 of 25. I didn't write that down, but the shooting was magnificent. Shot like around 60% or whatever from the field. And like, that's Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards. And I mean, SGA is on this run. He's got 340s in his last 5 games. Like, I mean, is he MVP? I mean, I think he's right there, but Jokic is averaging a triple-double. So I don't know. I don't know how SGA could usurp that from Jokic, and Jokic is at a career high in points, and Jokic is right up there with SGA and Giannis for the scoring lead, and it's intense. But my Magic Man from New Year's Eve was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for popping for a 40-burger in a big win over Minnesota. So, Doc, going back to New Year's Eve, Bucks at Pacers, and the Pacers had a big lead going into the fourth quarter. Giannis and the Bucks came back to win this one, and a lot of credit to Giannis for willing a victory here for Milwaukee. 30 points, 12 rebounds. He was awesome in the fourth quarter. Dame and Halliburton were awful in this game. They combined to shoot 6 of 27. It was not Dame time, and it was not Hallie time. Jarris Walker stood out to me a little bit in this game, Doc. I coming out of college as a high draft pick, I was like, yo, I got my eye on Jarris Walker because I think he's going to be a fantasy gold beast, blocks, steals, and threes. And that's how he was in college, but it hasn't really materialized in the NBA. But he's got that kind of game. So maybe we're not getting the stats right away and he needs to grow into it. Tonight was the start. 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. I'm not worried about that. 3 blocks, 1 steal, 1 3. Don't go pick him up. I'm just like, he's sort of a lab experiment player for me right now. Playing 15, 17 minutes off the bench. He's gotten some starts this year. But I got my eye on Jarris Walker. And then, Doc, just another quality win for the Bucks, man. They are jockeying with the Atlanta Hawks right now, trying to be that 4th best team in the East. Orlando is in there as well. And I thought it was a really quality win for the Bucks on New Year's Eve to go into Indiana and get a good come from behind victory.
As far as Jarris Walker goes, I feel like we're 2 years away. Like, Jarris Walker 2 years from now is going to be a fantasy baller. Stefan Castle, 2 years from now, going to be a fantasy baller. Right now, I mean, I think the savvy fantasy guys are on those guys right now, and we're a year too early, maybe 2 years too early. I remember in a baseball draft, Cam, you'll get this. My brother said Chan Ho Park for $1, and the minimum was 10 cents. And when he said Chan Ho Park for $1, everybody laughed, and it was hilarious. And then the year after that, Chan Ho Park ran baseball, like just killed it. So we're a year too early on your boy Jarris Walker.
That is Steve Alexander, MSWA Hall of Famer. I'm Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today, and we are going to get to our breakdown of the January 1 slate in a little bit. We are looking back at New Year's Eve right now. Doc, we don't have to spend long on this turd of a game. Toronto at Boston. It was an afternoon joint, and Toronto didn't get the wake-up call. Boston won by 54 points. Darko Rajakovic is probably lucky he didn't get whacked after his team completely gave up. I mean, way to show up. They literally, I mean, just take your L, forfeit the game. The only thing to talk about this game for me is Drew Holiday came back, Doc, with a very uninspiring line. 14 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Do you have anything on Toronto's 54-point L at Boston?
I told y'all yesterday, be careful of messing with this game in any form or fashion because it's going to be a blowout. The Raptors are terrible, and it just is what it is. Yeah. Of course, I didn't listen to my own advice. I was in on some of that. Didn't really work out, but we live to play another day, Rick.
Put the ball on the tee and grab the driver and give it a whack, dude. All right. Another blowout went down on New Year's Eve. The Spurs clobbered the Clippers, who were in the second of a back-to-back. Spurs winning by 36 points. And Doc, again, Wemby had a good line, not a great line. But to me, again, and I'm really watching the germination of the Spurs bench. We know, and Sohan went down in this game, so we'll have to monitor that as we move forward here. But it's Harry B, it's Sohan, it's Wemby, it's Paul, and it's Devin Vassell, okay? Really good starting 5. And then you're coming off the bench now with Trey Jones. In this game, he had 2, 4, and 4. Not great, but he was effective. Stephon Castle, 15, 4, and 4. Keldon Johnson had 17. Julian Champagnie had 9 with some goodies. Zach Collins had 7 with some goodies. So right there, that's 22, 24, 41, 50 points. 50 from basically your second 5. Trey Jones, Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie, and Zach Collins. That's a really freaking good second unit, Doc. And it's kind of a secret sauce of this team. We know Wemby and Chris Paul, but like, how are they? I believe one game over 500 right now. Wemby can't do all that by himself. It's because San Antonio has low-key built a deep team. That's a really good second unit, Doc. And I think it's one of the best. Like, you look at the Atlanta Hawks, right? When they have their top 8 healthy with Okongwu and Hunter and Bogey coming off behind their starters, right? That's one of the best 8s in the league. But then you go to 9 and 10, and Atlanta gets a little weird. Like, San Antonio is strong all the way to 10, dude. What, you got anything here on San Antonio's blow-up victory over the Clippers?
The Clippers, I think, were due for an off night. Like, this has been building for a while because they've been really, really good. They're 19 and 14. They were on the road. The Clippers box score is not that impressive. Jeremy Sohan, 15 minutes, 4 points. Devin Vassell, 4 of 14, 0 of 6 from 3, 8 points. Like, there's just not Wemby had a good game, but not a Wemby pop game. Stephon Castle, and shout out to your guy, Keldon Johnson, 17-6. He's hanging on for dear life, dude. Played 19 minutes. But I just think this was the Clippers were like, this isn't our night. It's time to shut everybody down, give everybody a little break, and just chill. If you own Clippers, do not panic over this.
Not at all. Second of a back-to-back at San Antonio, and they laid an egg. Let's move on to OKC's victory over Minnesota. I already gave you SGA as my Magic Man, and so we won't talk anymore about that. Couple of things for me here, Doc. You remember in advance of this game when we did the preview, I called out Anthony Edwards, and I said 30 is mandatory from you in this game. No soft, no going through the motions, no letting others do the heavy lifting. And he did all that I said that he should not do. Okay. He needed 30. He gave them 20, 7 and 2 on 6 of 12. He took 12 shots in 39 minutes. That's not even close to the appropriate math. It was a balanced shooting and scoring game for Minnesota. You had Naz Reid and Dante took a lot of shots off the bench, and Conley got his shots, and Gobert got his shots, and too many guys got shots. Anthony Edwards needs 19 to 22 shots every single game. And I don't understand why they're not rocking that way. Is he deferring? Is he like doing that? Like, does Finch want him taking 20 shots a game and Ant-Man doesn't want it? Or does Finch want this to be spread around? Okay, I don't know that. John Krasinski, please, one of the goats of reporting in the NBA, covers the Wolves. Ask Finchy that question, please, because I'd love to know. This ain't it for Ant-Man, dude. They lost the game by like 10 or 12 points. Hello? He scored 20, needed 30. That's the difference in the effing game, dude. Ant-Man, you got to get it going, bro. Let's go. Let's pick it up. I mean, the clock is running here. We're halfway through the year.
Rick, if you or I, okay, let's say I'm the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves and you're the owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. If Ant-Man goes out and shoots 12 shots and Naz Reid leads the team with 14 points, you're firing me the next day. Like, I'm not doing this. If Ant is not leading our team in shots, I'm not playing this game. Like, something is so broken with Minnesota. And yes, Ant was in the torture chamber, like I told you he would be, and don't mess with Ant tonight. I said all that. Something's wrong when Julius Randle, Mike Conley, and Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo are all taking basically the same number of shots as Anthony Edwards, who literally, with Luka Doncic and Victor Wembanyama, is the face of the league going forward. It's unacceptable.
It is. Like, I'm not whacking Finchy about it, like, just for one game. But if I were the owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Doc, they would win. You know why I say that, Doc? Because of Glenn Taylor, your boy.
Because you've been doing this a long time.
Glenn Taylor. It's not even about me. If you took over as the owner of the Wolves, if Andre Lemus took over as the owner of the Wolves, if Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez ever, for the love of God, get to take over the Timberwolves, they're going to win because Glenn Taylor will no longer be the owner of that team. Doc, did the Clippers ever win anything with that scumbag Donald Sterling owning the team? No. I am not comparing Glenn Taylor apples to apples at all as a man, right? With Donald Sterling. But Glenn Taylor has made a million mistakes, not like Donald Sterling, like boardroom mistakes, decision-making, right? The Joe Smith fiasco. Anyone? Okay. Hiring David Kahn, who passed on Steph Curry twice in the same draft. Okay. This is all on Glenn Taylor's watch. Okay. Letting Stephon Marbury go. Like, work it out. Hold on him. Don't just say, beat it, bum, right? Because he's quarreling with Kevin Garnett. Work it out. Kobe Bryant wanted to be traded. In the Lamar Odom, Smoosh Parker, that whole thing, right? He wanted to be traded, right? And Mitch Kupchak was like, we're not trading you, bro. They go get Pau Gasol. You win 2 more championships, okay? I'm sorry. I went on a like ranty soliloquy right there, but it just somebody other than Glenn Taylor own the Wolves and they will win again. And I would love to own a team. I'd go straight Cuban on it. I'd go Jerry Jones on it. The Cowboy owner and general manager and quasi coach. Okay. Like that would be me. I'm getting dirty with my team. Y'all got me messed up. I'm not like that. GM is in a collab with me. I'm not just, oh yeah, you have full license of basketball control. Hell no. It would be a collab. If not, I would have the final say in the boardroom.
So dude, let's get back to fantasy for a moment.
Yes.
If you roster Anthony Edwards right now, are you waiting for him to have a big game and then moving him? Or do you think he's going to get it together and start balling in the second half?
The latter. And
So you're hanging on.
Pardon me. Not only am I hanging on, if I roster Anthony Edwards, because Doc, you can't trade him right now. The lines suck. His lines are kind of, I don't know, Doc. We have our narratives here and we have our podcast here. I don't listen to other podcasts. I'm too busy with my life and making money. Okay. I don't know if a lot of other people are talking about this. I don't know if the Richard Jeffersons and the Kendrick Perkinses and the Stephen A. Smiths are talking about this. I don't know. You can tell me that or not. Okay. Well, I know what we talk about here. All right. And so Anthony Edwards, to me, you try to trade him right now. You're trading him at the exact wrong time. I think he's a buy low guy. If I were out there, I would rather have Anthony Edwards than Devin Booker for the rest of the year. I am losing trust in Devin Booker. Dude misses a lot of games. Okay. And I don't know, that Phoenix thing, whenever some guy comes back from injury, another guy goes out. It's just a crazy, crazy voodoo thing. Going back to Brooklyn with Harden, Kyrie, and Durant. Now it's the same shit in Phoenix, okay, with some different computations. But I would be trying to go get an Anthony Edwards. Now, Doc, I have a hard-hitting question for you and the people here, Fantasy NBA today. We're breaking down the New Year's Eve games. We're going to look ahead to the January 1st games here in a minute. What is up with your boy, Jalen Williams? And he's my guy, too. I don't say that like I dislike him, but Doc had a bigger opinion on J-Dub than I did coming into the season. All right? Doc, what is up with your boy J-Dub here? Is it a slump? Has he hit a wall? What's up? His value is plummeting, okay? You remember, Doc, 2 weeks ago on Basketball Monster, he was up there with Karl Anthony Towns and SGA and Anthony Davis. He was like 6th or 7th in value on Basketball Monster, okay? Jalen Williams right now has dropped to 19. So he hasn't completely fallen off the map like Jordan Poole has. But I got some numbers for you here. Over the last 2 weeks, pardon me. Over the last 2 weeks, Jalen Williams, 18, 5, and 6. Not bad, but not what it was. 0.3 blocks, 1 steal, 1.3 threes, shooting 41% overall from the field. Slump, hitting a wall. What's up with J-Dub?
Rick, I mean, no disrespect here. And by no disrespect, I mean no disrespect. His last 2 games were 14 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. The game before that, 14 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. I can't get behind this narrative. He dropped all the way from 5th to 19. I don't care. That's my boy. He may be better than SGA, and we just don't know it yet.
He's not better than SGA, dude.
I think he might be.
What?
I think he might be a better basketball player.
Oh my God.
Than SGA.
SGA is holding him back.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Williams is a terrific player, man.
All of that.
Let me ask you a question. Who would be a better Batman, Jaylen Brown or Jalen Williams?
Oh my God, it's Jalen Williams. It's not even
no
close.
Way. Are you serious right now?
You'd rather have Jaylen Brown?
I would rather have Jaylen Brown than Jalen Williams. Absolutely.
In fantasy or reality?
Reality.
I mean,
reality.
Fantasy, I think Jalen's probably ranked like 75th.
I'm not. You just said it right there. You said fantasy or reality. Reality. I would rather have Jalen Williams is a better fantasy player than Jaylen Brown. I will give you that. I think in reality, in terms of being clutch, in terms of takeover gene, in terms of championship DNA, in terms of being an absolute shutdown sick'em dog on defense, dude, Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP because he put a blanket on Luka and gave him like 20-some points a game. Like Jalen Williams to me is not at that level, dude.
Well, he's what, in his 3rd year? Jaylen Brown's been in the league for like 50 years. When Jalen Williams has 10 years or 8 years or whatever Jaylen Brown has, it's not even going to be close. Like Jalen Williams is low key, possibly. I'm not going to go there. He's one of the best players in the league, and he might be the best player on his team. I'm just saying.
I love it, dude.
I
Spicy
love Jalen
opinions.
Williams.
He sure does. Not a hot take. We don't do hot takes here, but we do big
Oh,
opinions.
that was a hot take.
And that was a. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like piss on it by calling it a hot take. Hey, thank you for listening to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. We love you. Want to help us keep this going? Simple.
By
Go
the
to
way,
sportsethos.com. Please let me read the promo and consider subscribing. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us. Doc, what's up?
by the way, you got me fired up on this Jalen Williams thing. You're like, you dropped the 19th. Are we panicking? What's wrong with Jalen? He scored in double figures in every game this season. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. You go look at Jalen Williams' game log and you take SGA out of that equation, I would argue that he is up there with Luka, Jokic, and Wemby as the best player in the league. I'm just that's it. We can move on. I had to get that off my chest.
All right, so I continue to break down here the New Year's Eve slate of games, and we have 2 more games to tell you about. Memphis at Phoenix. Memphis won this game. Doc, this was a big game for the Grizzlies. No Ja Morant. I roll. I'm not going to complain right now. It is what it is. Out of sight, out of mind. Until I feel like going on another rant. I don't feel like doing that right now. Welcome to the new normal without Ja Morant. Jaren Jackson Jr.
On another Morant.
Right, yeah, another Rick's Morant. But Jaren Jackson Jr., 38-12. Desmond Bane, and we've been waiting patiently. We have, haven't we? 31, 5-7, a block and 4 threes. Memphis won this game to go to 23-11. All right. JJJ and Bane are ready to show the world that they can do this without Ja Morant. And they didn't do it last year, but I mean, Bane got hurt last year. But the year before, they were 20-5 in non-Ja Morant games. They've proven they can win without Ja Morant. And I think the way Memphis and the way Taylor Jenkins has this culture spun and revolving at a very high level, 23-11, Doc, in the freaking West. Pardon me. Despite a million missed games by a variety of guys. And they just keep winning games. So, but you do have Jackson and you do have Bane. And I think both of these guys are like, I know they love Ja Morant. He's their teammate, their brother and all this kind of stuff. But these guys got to be like, I mean, we're so used to playing without him. And let's show the world that we can do this and stay afloat in the West without Ja. I really think that's going to be a thing for Jackson and Bane. Devin Booker returned to this game, making this win, okay, even more impressive for Memphis without Ja. But Booker sucked. He shot 4 of 20, 16 points. And then, of course, because Devin Booker came back, Bradley Beal said, all right, now it's my turn to go on the bench and rest. Some kind of damn soft tissue injury. I don't know. I didn't even write it down. I don't care, okay? Is it a boo-boo? Is it a doo-doo? Is it, do we need a Band-Aid? Okay? Like, do we need a walking cane? Do you need a freaking wheelchair? I mean, my God, it's unbelievable. All right, you got a Beal rant out of me here. He had 3 points in 12 minutes and went boo-hooing on the sideline here. Memphis at Phoenix, Doc, what you got?
I love the fact that you still write stuff down. Like, he was so bad, I didn't even bother to write it down on my notepad with my big pen.
I just put soft tissue. I just wrote Beal, soft tissue. I don't even know what tissue it was. I don't care.
First of all, I think we got to give a shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr., dude. 38 points and 12 boards. Another 2010, another double-double for JJJ. I love that. I don't love the 10 of 17 free throws, but I wrote in my first sports ethos ever, working the wire, that John Konkar was going to be a thing. 7 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a block, a start, 36 minutes. The biggest surprise to me is that Memphis was able to win this game with Scottie Pippen being in the starting lineup for Ja Morant and going 0 for 5 and scoring 2 points with kind of a crappy stat line. Like, when Ja Morant's out, there's one thing we should be able to count on, and that's Scottie Pippen going off. Not tonight. Did not work out.
So the Scottie Pippen Jr. thing is over. Pardon me, I had to chew on a lozenge. I'm having some throat issues here.
What do you mean?
It's over.
No.
He is a Tuesday. He's a light night streamer. That's all I got for Scottie Pippen Jr. He had a run. He had some bombastic games. Look at his game log. When is the last big game Scottie Pippen Jr. had? In minutes. I'm not talking in a 10-minute game. I'm talking in a game where he plays some legitimate minutes. And, you know, they have Kennard on the ball. They have Bain on the ball. And I don't think Taylor Jenkins is feeling the Scottie Pippen Jr. 30 to 35 minute a game thing. I'm out on Scottie Pippen Jr. I'm out.
Interesting. And I mean, you're sort of right, dude. He hasn't played more than 24 minutes in 5 straight games. He was terrible tonight. Before that, 10-6, 13-4, 15-3, 13-2, 22-9. There's no pop there. There's no sizzle. But I still think if you're in a 12-team league and you've got Scottie Pippen on your team, you hang on to him and roll him out there and see what happens. Because sorry, I apologize for my throat tonight, but it's not working. He's not going to be 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists every night. Also, he did have a steal and 2 blocks. He just couldn't make a shot tonight and didn't shoot it very much. I'm in on Scottie. You're out. I like the yin and yang.
Andre Lemouche, break the tie here. Is Scottie Pippen Jr. a streamer, or are you holding him like Doc said? I say streamer, Doc says hold.
Did I say Concar wrong? Apparently I did. Andre's just always yelling at me, dude. Conchar.
He said you're still wrong.
Conchar. John Conchar. No wonder I said it wrong. I thought it was Concar. How am I supposed to know this stuff?
Conchar. John Conchar. And Andre says, you'll love this, Doc. To pile on, he says streamer for Scottie Pippen Jr.
Is it worth a burrito? Is it worth a half? Is it worth a half burrito?
There's no burrito on that one right there.
I'm losing burritos, bro.
All right, Doc. One more game to talk about from the New Year's Eve slate of games. Cleveland went to crypto and beat the Lakers. Good game. And, dude, this is like kind of an obvious take, but, I mean, we got to just give them credit when they deserve it. Cleveland's core 4 is a problem, Doc. Donovan Mitchell, 26, 4-4. Garland, 14-14. Mobley, 20.6 rebounds, 2 threes. Jared Allen got probably the walk-off interview after the game, 27-14 with 3 blocks. They got good contributions from their bench. They're super deep. Kenny Atkinson, I mean, they're 29-4. Kenny Atkinson is texting Steve Kerr right now and being like, bro, I got my team humming at such a high level. I literally am here to help you. What can I do to help your shitty Golden State Warriors? Kenny Atkinson is literally trolling Steve Kerr with that text right now. Bro, what you need? I got you. What do you need? You need help on the defensive end? I got strategies for you, bro. I know you're missing me out there in Golden State. And Kenny A is just killing it, okay? And the Lakers, Doc. And I did the preview for Thursday night's game, and I put it all, it's Lakers at home against Portland. I put it all on the Lakers role players because Reeves, Davis, and LeBron were phenomenal in that loss to Cleveland. They combined for 86 of the 110 points. The role players and the bench players, the Christies, the Ruiz, the Connect, those guys, they sucked. They were just absolutely awful. So in this Cleveland game, but what you got on Cleveland's victory at crypto over the LA Lakers?
I really don't have anything to add, dude. Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Austin Reeves Austin Reeves had 35, 9, and 10. And LeBron and AD both played well, and they still get beat by 12 at home. We talked about this 2 days ago. I don't know why Cleveland is so good, but they're the best team in the league, and no one's even threatening them right now. Like I want to see Cleveland play Oklahoma City, and then we'll talk. But man, I don't know what Kenny Atkinson is doing over there, but he's got that team rolling hard.
I will tell you what he's doing, Doc. It's called role definition. JB Bickerstaff did a really good job with Cleveland. He did not do a great job with Cleveland. Kenny Atkinson's doing a great job with Cleveland. And again, pardon me for a little throat deal here. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell did not fit with JB Bickerstaff. They didn't. They fit now. Role definition. And it's nuanced stuff. It's not just learning how to play with it. That's too easy. Kenny Atkinson is doing tactical stuff that JB Bickerstaff was not. And also getting more out of Evan Mobley this year. That's been another thing that Kenny Atkinson's really done a good job of. All right, let's now
break stuff out of Jarrett Allen. Dude, Jarrett Allen does not go 27 and 14 with a steal and 3 blocks very often. That was a massive game. That's a microphone game. That's a, hey, you're going to talk to Kenny and Chuck after that game, if it was even on TNT. But
I love it, dude. I love it. So let's talk about the January 1st slate of games here, Doc. And I want to give a shout out. You already kind of did a combined Magic Man, and you talked about.
I was so confused on Magic Man. I didn't realize I was supposed to do a Magic Man from yesteryear and today. I screwed that up. My bad.
So didn't you already give us Cat as your Magic Man?
I gave you Cat for today.
And all right, well, let's not go back. We already talked enough about New Year's Eve. So I have Tyler Hero, Doc. I have Tyler Hero. What, okay, because he had 32 points with 5 threes in Jimmy Butler's return tonight. And we'll get a little bit more into Jimmy Butler here in a minute. But we thought that Jimmy Butler might have played his last game as a Miami Heat, right? No, he played tonight. I mean, pardon me, Doc, he played tonight with air quotes. Tyler Hero, what is it? Gosh dang it. Hold on a second. What is the bumper sticker on the back of pickup trucks of the cartoon character peeing on something? What is that bumper sticker? Is it Calvin and Hobbes? Is that what that is?
Calvin and Hobbes.
I don't even really know what that is.
It's heavy.
It's a cartoon or something, and they put it on the back of Ford or Chevy pickup trucks here in the United States of America.
Maybe a Dodge. Yeah.
That's what Tyler Hero did to Jimmy Butler tonight. He peed on it, like he went bumper sticker peeing on something on Jimmy Butler. I don't want to be like too literal about this. But he went, oh, Jimmy Butler's back. I'm sorry, 1 a.m. in the morning. You get weird stuff like this.
You're like, hey, dude, guess what? I'm not on NBA TV anymore, bitches. We're going Jimmy.
Let's have some fun, right? But my point is, but am I wrong? Did Tyler Hero not say Jimmy Butler's back and he whizzed on Jimmy Butler being back? He did. He just said, this is my squad now, brah. You literally gave it to me because you don't love basketball anymore. And you don't love and take Jimmy Butler takes games for granted, bro. He takes this whole thing for granted. He just thinks it's always going to be there for him. Man, I'm not playing tonight for whatever reason. I'll get him the next game. Jimmy, the show goes on, bro, with you or without you. And Tyler Hero has stepped into the limelight. Bro, Tyler Hero right now, Doc, is like Slash with the top hat on and the hairs all over his face. You can't even see his face. Just
cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Cigarette hanging out of his mouth, just soloing right now as Jimmy Butler's off stage pouting because he's no longer in the limelight. I'm just saying, man, Tyler Hero whizzed on the return of Jimmy Butler tonight.
We are we've gone off the rails, but I mean, you're right, dude. Well, I mean, if Jimmy Butler had not have, like, if Jimmy Butler didn't play tonight, would anyone have noticed?
No, they would. Tell the people his stat line tonight, Doc, because he played, but again, I use that with air quotes.
He shot 5 times. 5. And we're yelling at I'm yelling at Anthony Edwards earlier for only shooting 12 times. Jimmy, the cornerstone of the franchise, shot the ball 5 times. And they got to win because the Pelicans are a disaster that have only won 5 games. But, bro, Haywood Highsmith, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, they all shot more than Jimmy freaking Butler. Dude, you and I do not like soft guys. You and I do not like guys that miss games. You and I do not like guys that just don't feel like playing hoops. I don't think I've ever drafted Jimmy Butler, and I never will, no matter where he ends up. And I think I'm kind of surprised he played for the Heat tonight. I think Pat Riley's going to look at this and be like, that's it. That's it. Either you come out and showcase yourself, or I'm shutting you down until we get your ass out of here.
It's dicey between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler for sure. All right, so let's move on here to Chicago at Washington. Doc, a win for the Wizards. Jordan Poole went big tonight. 30 points, 3 steals, 6 threes. Man, when he is on, he is a goody guy. Bilal Coulibaly left this game. You might have seen the box score and you saw 9 minutes. Don't worry, he was ill and left the game and did not return. So it wasn't an injury, it was an illness. So in a way, good news there. Kuzma once again came off the bench, minutes restriction, eye roll, Cooper flag. Champagny stayed in the starting lineup over him for now. Kuzma went 5-5-5 in 22 minutes. He is percolating right now. If he's on waivers, go get Kuzma, okay? Kuzma's going to get back up and humming to a very high level. He's just not there yet with the minutes restriction. But if Kuzma's on waivers, definitely go pick him up and just kind of live with some low-dough lines for a minute and then let it germinate, and then you'll be very happy you have Kuzma on your roster. And Zach LaVine, Doc, we talked about this the other night. I started him in 30 deep. What's 30 deep? It's a 30-team league of industry members that Doc and Brewski started a long time ago, and we still play it and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's a big-time league. Zach LaVine's my second-best player in this league. I need Zach LaVine all year long. Zach, come on. Play ball with your boy. Let's win a chip together. He is the anti-Brandon Ingram because last year, Zach LaVine was just like Brandon Ingram. Okay. He was a game misser and all this kind of stuff at odds with Billy Donovan. I told you all this year, Zach LaVine's going to be different because Zach LaVine cares about the game, about what is said about him, about his reputation, because he's a dog and he's a badass. Okay. So he ain't going out like that. Like Brandon Ingram literally just doesn't care. Okay, like you can badmouth him. He doesn't care about his reputation, his narrative. He doesn't care. If he did, he would actually play some basketball, right? LaVine played tonight. And after missing Monday's game, he was a late scratch and it was a buzzkill. And I'm like, oh my God, is he going to miss this whole week? No, he came back tonight. 32 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 3 threes. One of his best stat lines of the year, Doc. What you got on Washington's victory over Chicago?
Dude, if Jimmy Butler and Brandon Ingram got into a fight, would anyone throw a punch?
Jimmy Butler would kick Brandon Ingram's ass in a fight. I'm serious, dude. He would. I would actually be worried about Brandon Ingram in a fight with Jimmy Butler because Brandon Ingram would just go. He'd meekly put his hands up, and Jimmy Butler would just be throwing blows at him, dude.
So you mentioned 2 players in your entire take on this game, and they were both your 30 deep team, which has 8 players on it. What are you doing now? I'm just kidding, bro. I thought it was funny. Zach LaVine played great. Every time Zach LaVine plays good, you have to just be thrilled because you're sitting there waiting for the other shoe to fall. You know Zach
Not
Levine
this
is
year.
going to be hurt.
Not this
You
year.
know he's going to get
No.
traded. You know
No.
all kinds of bad stuff is going to happen to you.
This is the year of Zach Levine, homie. He's going to help me get this holy grail, this first championship.
Dude, you're on
I'm
your
not
way.
waiting
You're
on
in
any
first
shoe to
place.
drop.
You're rolling. You're rolling. Where's Josh Giddey? We've been talking about how good Josh Giddey's stat lines have been lately. Not a good one tonight. What was the other thing I saw in this? Bub Carrington. Way to play through the head injury, bro. 11 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, a steal, a block, 3 threes, 4 or 5 field goals. I was really worried about him playing. We were kind of like, go pick up Malcolm Brogdon because Bub Carrington might be out for a while, but he wasn't. And he actually looked really good. So I was kind of psyched for Bub Carrington.
Bub Carrington's going to be weird this year. He's going to have some good games. He's going to have some bad games. He's going to his rotation
hero.
But he's going to be an end of the season hero. And like 2 years from now, he could be like a flirt with a triple double every night type of guy. Like we're Bub guys over here. But he's right. Doc is right. End of season hero, like my boy Svi Mikhailiuk in Utah. When they get their Cooper flag out, I'm telling you, Svi Mikhailiuk is going to enter league winner status, man.
Anthony Randolph, baby. Never forget. Right. Never forget.
Ant Rand, your boy.
Rand,
my God.
My
dog.
My
God. So, dude, Detroit beat Orlando tonight, Doc, and we might have lost Jaden Ivey for a long time. Serious leg injury. Cole Anthony diving for a loose ball, rolled up on him. It was ugly. And stretcher and the whole thing, and guys were like really emotional on the court and stuff. It's just we sent our best out to Jaden Ivey. Hopefully it's not. I wrote this all down as of an hour ago, Doc. Let me do a quick check here on Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey's our guy, right? Went to Purdue. You and I both watched him play in college. Had a great game tonight. 8 of 11, 22 points, 5 triples. Like he was rolling. So it's a pretty sad injury. But you know, when you slice it all up and you look at the fantasy take, it might look like Tim Hardaway's the guy, but I think it's Malik Beasley, and it's not close. I'm going Beasley all day. He was 0 of 7 in 22 minutes tonight. That's fluky. Malik Beasley has been one of the most pleasant surprises in fantasy hoops all year. Back to your Jaden Ivey thing, please.
Yeah, I agree with you on Beasley. I also wanted to bring up Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, a lot of nights, it's like 8 points, 11 points. Like with Jaden Ivey out, I think Tobias Harris is going to be a way better goodie guy. I think he'll be back in that 15 to 20 point per game threshold on a consistent basis. I'm not looking at Tim Hardaway Jr. to get a spike out of him. I'm not. It'll still be the same, very inconsistent, frankly, really lame stuff. I'm kind of over the Tim Hardaway Jr. thing. Beasley has completely stolen his shine there in Detroit. I think Ausar Thompson is a guy that you need to revisit now. He had 4 steals in this game. He played 26 minutes. I don't know if he's going to start, although he might for Ivy. Matter of fact, I think he probably will enter the starting lineup.
I feel like they'll start Ausar. Dude, I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I feel like they'll start Ausar because they like Beasley being that 6-man guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page. So there could be a little upside here with Ausar. What you got to know about Ausar is his offensive game is not nearly as developed as Amin. All right. So Ausar is going to be more of a defensive goodies guy, and he'll be like maybe a decent PRA guy. You're not going to get 3 balls from Ausar. All right. You don't really get a whole lot of 3 balls from Amin as well. But Ausar is lagging behind. It's almost like Markieff Morris to Marcus Morris for most of their careers. Like they both weren't at the same level. Right now, Amin is at a very different level. And obviously right now currently suspended. Really good win for the Pistons. 15 and 18 they are. 15 and 18 for Detroit. How about that? Really bad performance by the Magic. I'm not going to call it a bad loss because that would be dissing Detroit. But Orlando, reality's starting to set in here. Without Franz, without Paulo, without Mo, They're 3-6 in their last 9 games, and they're about maybe in another game or two like this to fall behind Atlanta in the Eastern Conference. Have you guys downloaded the Sports Ethos app yet? It's completely free, keeps you updated with all the key news impacting your fantasy NBA teams. Plus, it offers individual feeds for MLB and NFL, along with free tools to help you dominate your fantasy basketball league. Download it now from your favorite app store. Go ahead, pause this podcast for a moment. Download the app, the Sports Ethos app. It's free. And so we'd appreciate that. Now, it's Rick Kamla. It's Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr.
Rant. Can I do a quick app rant?
Yes.
If you are like me, and this is not scripted, nobody told me to do this. I just want someone to give me the news. I don't want videos. I don't want all this BS that all these, like, we need content. We need more content. I just want to know if my guy is playing or not. That's all I want to know. I know my guys. That is what that app, like, I love the app. It's beautiful. It's a throwback in my mind. And I downloaded it on my own and I use it every day and I love it. That's my app rant.
I love it. That is not a hot take.
All I got.
It is Cam and Doc, the OGs, the GOATs, with you here on Fantasy NBA Today, Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball. Brooklyn at Toronto. Emmanuel quickly played basketball.
What?
And he activated the entire team. Emmanuel quickly, 21 points, 15 assists, 3 threes. Scotty Barnes went 33, 13, and 5 with a block and 2 steals. Pirtle, your boy Jakob Pirtle went 12 and 9 with 2 blocks. Quickly activated Dick. He had 22 points tonight. Ochai Agbaji had 14 points tonight. RJ Barrett did not. We did get resolution on that. They were being coy with the reporting. He was out. It was somewhat mysterious. He had an illness. He did not play in this game tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. And then on the Nets side, Doc, D'Angelo Russell, welcome back to Brooklyn. Playing behind Keon Johnson and Ben Simmons. This is your lot in life in the NBA right now. You are coming off the bench behind Keon Johnson. If you polled 100 NBA fans around arenas all across this great country, and you said, who is Keon Johnson? 93% would say, I have no idea. 100% would have no idea what team he plays for. The 7% that knew he was an NBA player, those people would not know what team he plays for. He is starting over D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn right now. I don't know for how long, but he is right now. Doc, what you got here on Toronto and Brooklyn?
Did you just win another burrito with your activated Grady Dick line?
I don't think I won a burrito, but I couldn't quickly activated the team,
Dude,
including Dick.
I kind of want to come through the screen and choke you right now. Yeah, stop messing. Dude, the Toronto Raptors starting lineup in minutes.
We're a couple of 50-year-old sophomore douchebags right now. What is wrong?
I love you, dude. The Toronto Raptors stat line, like, let's do this every night. Either A, they just screwed up their entire draft pick because they're going to start winning games. Or B, they're going to start trying to make a run and sneak into the play-in and make some noise. 38 minutes for Scotty Barnes, 34 for Jakob Pertl, 32 for Quickly. Welcome back. Agbaji, 37. Grady Dick was active for 37 minutes. Like, those are New York Knicks numbers. And I think if they were doing this every night, they probably have like 15 wins instead of 8. Like, play your guys. Like, can everybody stop pussyfooting around and just try to win basketball games? Play your guys. Play your studs.
Not in the Cooper Flag year, son. Not in the Cooper Flag year. Dude, Brooklyn's already in Cooper Flag mode with the injury management with Cam Thomas, right? Tell me that does not reek of Cooper Flag.
They have 4 more wins than the Raptors, who kicked their ass tonight.
Exactly. And, for the Raptors, there's no making a run at the play-in tournament. And we know that Emmanuel Quickly and R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes, all these guys will be shut down at some point. They will. All right, Toronto is 8-26. Let's look at the wins. They have 8 wins. Okay, New Orleans right now is in the lead in the lottery standings with 5 wins. The Jazz have 7 wins. The Wizards have 6 wins, and the Hornets have 7 wins. So those 5 bottom teams all have between 5 and 8 wins. So Toronto is still right there. That they're still very Cooper Flaggy right now, as is. Like you said, Portland is bad at tanking. Like, Portland has too good of a record right now. You know what I'm saying?
I told you that 3 weeks ago, and everybody said, "Oh no, they're fine. They'll figure it out." They're stupid. They're not.
Yeah, they're 11-21. They're not good enough to make a run at the play-in tournament, and they're not bad enough to make a run at Cooper Flag. They're exactly where you don't want to be.
They're terrible at taking. And also, I would just like to point out that my guy, he's not really my guy, but every time I bring up his name, you freak out. My guy, Ben Simmons, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. 1 of 6, 25 minutes. Hello,
Can we just stop talking about him?
Hello,
that's the point.
Russell. I think D'Angelo Russell ends the Ben Simmons discussions. If you have Ben Simmons, drop him and pick up a hot free agent, please. That's what I'm doing.
You're fine. Are you sure? Is that your final answer on Ben Simmons? Are you finally folding your fucking cards on Ben Simmons?
I was already done with Ben Simmons like 3 years ago, but the one team I have him in, I will cut him. I can do it live on the air right now if we need to. I go find out which team it is I have him on. It's a deep league, like 20 teams. Might be a sports ethos league. I'll cut his ass right now. But yes, I'm done. I'm moving on. Bye-bye.
Ben Simmons.
Every time somebody hits their golf ball into the water when I'm playing Golden Tee with them, I always go, bye-bye. Ben Simmons.
The Miami Heat beat New Orleans tonight. I talked a little bit about Tyler Hero. We talked about Jimmy Butler as well. What do I have on this? These angles are kind of lame, so I'll make it quick. Khalil Ware, the rookie for Miami, had a take a look at me stat line tonight. Kind of like Jarris Walker with Indiana. We were talking about him. Like, don't pick him up. Just keep your eye on him. Khalil Ware went 10-5 with a block in 17 minutes. And he's pretty much the backup to Bam Adebayo right now. Just keep your eye on him. Just saying, keep your eye on him.
He didn't miss the shot. It was a fluky thing. So don't get too excited. But I'm with you, dude.
I've seen a lot of, like on Yahoo and stuff, he's registering as like one of the top added guys. I think people are maybe a little ahead of schedule on it, and I'm not as high as all that. But I'm just saying, like, there is some movement on him in the fantasy market, and he had a decent line tonight. I just wanted to add him to our conversation. First time we've talked about him all year. DeJounte Murray, Doc. New Orleans just can't win a game. They've lost 12 or 13 straight games, whatever it is. They're 5-29 or whatever it is, right? I'm a huge DeJounte Murray guy, but I'm also an analyst, and I keep it real. More times than not, he is the weak link for the Pelicans. And I know their bench sucks, okay? Hawkins sometimes, Brandon Boston sometimes, and they don't get really anything from anybody else. So, yeah, the bench is always kind of lingering as a real buzzkill for this team. But C.J. McCollum's doing his job. Trey Murphy's having a bunch of big games here. Yves Missy's having good games. Herb Jones is doing Herb Jones things. Like, the guy that I look at time and time again in these box scores, Doc, is DeJounte Murray. Just coming up kind of flat, kind of lame, and kind of flimsy, okay? So he's my guy. I'm not giving up on him or anything like that. He could still ball for my fantasy team, but dang, at some point, DeJounte's got to click in and play at a higher level, dude.
It kind of reminds me of Ant-Man right now. Like, Where's the dog? Where's the monster that we know? And when DeJounte came over to the Hawks from the Spurs, oh, hello. DeJounte was a fantasy darling, like under the table, like we knew, under the radar, and he was good in Atlanta. He was very good, but Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson were also under the radar, up and coming guys. Those guys have stepped up and are going off. DeJounte is now cooking with a 5-29 Pelicans team, with everybody sitting in street clothes watching them. And I don't like how this is going to end, dude. I think if I've got DeJounte Murray or CJ McCollum or any of these guys, Trey Murphy should be shutdown proof, should be. But man, 5 wins for the Pelicans. They need to shut everybody down and just let Javonte Green take all their shots.
Javonte Green. Speaking of Green, I'm waiting on the Shams bomb here at some point. I don't know, Doc. I'm kind of waiting on the Shams bomb.
On the what?
I'm waiting on the Shams bomb on Willie Green.
Yeah, I mean,
it hasn't come yet. I like Willie Green. I like Willie Green, but I mean, 5-29 is 5-29. I've seen coaches get whacked for a lot less than that.
We should start an office pool on Willie Green getting whacked. And speaking of which, I had Arizona State in football in an office pool, and I was at Johnny B's playing Golden Tee. I said, I need Arizona State to win this game. I was all fired up. And they're like, why? And I was like, I got them in an office pool. They're like, what office do you work in? I'm like, the one in my house. They're like, nobody else works there. Like, who are you? Who else picked teams? And I thought that was hilarious. And then they're like, well, we didn't know Johnny B's had an office pool, because that would insinuate that all my friends that hang out at Johnny B's were all picking teams. But it was a buddy's office pool. That's all I got. Sorry.
By the way, Eve Misi, not Eves. Just one, not plural.
No S on that.
Not Eves.
Even though there is an S, it's Eve.
At some point, I will get that.
New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, Eve Misi.
It's a good point. It's a good point. The New York Knicks defeated the Utah Jazz tonight at Madison Square Garden. They have won 9 in a row. Jalen Brunson, I'm hoping this was a rest game. Did not play, right calf tightness. I am anticipating that he will be back for the New York Knicks next game. I think this is just load management. Yes, even for the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. It was Utah at the Garden, okay? Miles McBride didn't play in this game. Remember, I thought this was going to be the Miles McBride game. Blowout, coming off the bench, playing more minutes. He didn't even play tonight, okay? I made that take a couple of days ago. Don't be mad at me. Karl Anthony Towns, exhilarating, 31 and 21 with a bunch of goodies. Josh Hart had another triple-double, 15, 14, and 12. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, Doc, were so freaking good and efficient. I had to combine their numbers. They combined for 49 points on 22 of 33 shooting. That's 66%. Blistering, okay? Could not miss. And then on the Utah side, Doc, Jordan Clarkson had the come and get me game, okay? This, I don't know if anybody on Twitter is saying this, but they should.
Get me out of here game.
No, but it's that, but it's also the come and get me game to the Knicks, right? I've been trying to send Jordan Clarkson to the Knicks all year. He's exactly what they need off the bench. At the Garden, okay, in a game where Utah was surprisingly kind of competitive, he had 25 points in 32 minutes. So that was the get me out of here game, but it was also the come and get me game. That was the audition game.
That was the, hey, we want you to come to New York game, even though nobody's allowed to say that they said that to him. Dude, I just love Tom Thibodeau as a fantasy basketball guy. Cameron Payne, we haven't seen him all year, right? Gets a start because our guy Jalen Brunson taking a rest. 36 minutes. Like, Tom Thibodeau does not care. If you're in my starting lineup, you're playing unless somebody looks at me and goes, dude, I can't breathe. I need to sit down for 2 minutes. That's it. That's how you do it. That's why you always leave a note. That was a Arrested Development reference. Sorry.
Rick Kamla, Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer. We are in Fantasy NBA today. So Dallas went to Houston tonight and took an L. My plucky Rockets, my little team that could, is 22-11. They all grows up. Cam Whitmore, we told you, Amen Thompson, if he's suspended, get Cam Whitmore in your lineup. He proved us right, made us look good. He had 18 points in 24 minutes. Amen Thompson got 2 games for roughing up Tyler Hero the other night. Terry Rozier got a game for that, and Tyler Hero got some major rep points on Twitter for his clapback at Amen Thompson. And so for Dallas, Klay Thompson came back. He was Kyrie came back. He was no Luka. And so Dallas continues to take on L's right here. And with Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson coming back, that's screwed up all of our waiver wire machinations to get Spencer Dinwiddie. He did nothing tonight. And Jaden Hardy did nothing. And so Dallas is kind of a mess right now, Doc.
Newsflash. They're not very good without Luka. I think Kyrie is good enough to carry this team, but he needs help, just a little bit of help. And I need more help than PJ Washington. And why PJ only plays 16 minutes? That looks weird. Did he get hurt? Feel like he might be hurt.
Let me look it up.
But he needs help. He can't do it all by himself. Great call by you and the New York Times for saying that Amen would be suspended. He got 2 games. So he's out tonight. He's out the next one. I threw Cam Whitmore into my Work in the Wire column for Sports Ethos. And I looked like a genius, but it was all Rick in the New York Times. It had nothing to do with me. 18 points, 3 boards, a steal, 3 threes. Like, that was fun. Houston is really good. They're better than Dallas, and they're probably going to be better than Dallas even when Luka comes back.
Better than Minnesota, better than Golden State, better than Phoenix, better than the Lakers. Like, this is heady stuff. PJ Washington knee did not return to the game tonight, so we hope everything goes well with that. But we press on here. Big game for the Hawks at Denver. Atlanta is in the middle of a 6-game road trip right now. They've been playing some great basketball. They won the first game on the road trip at Toronto, and tonight they were at Denver. Pardon me. It did not go well. And this game from the Atlanta side is a flush it down the toilet game because Jalen Johnson didn't play. Buzzkill. Right shoulder soreness for Jalen Johnson. Hopefully this is a 1-game thing and he can get back out there. Trae Young played well, and there wasn't a whole lot to write home about for the Hawks tonight. And it was a blowout game. Denver is now 19-13. Nikola Jokic had another triple-double. He had 23, 17, and 15. Like, I want SGA to win MVP. I do. This guy deserves an award. He got robbed of the MIP. He got kind of robbed of MVP last year, although not nearly as bad as the MIP to Lauri Markkanen. And it looks like SGA is going to finish second behind Jokic again this year. I mean, these Jokic lines they keep coming game after game after game. The team wins. And then Russell Westbrook tonight, Doc, 16 points, 11 assists in 26 minutes. He has been so freaking good with these Denver Nuggets. So Jokic a trip dub, Westbrook a dub. These are probably 2 of the 4 guys on the Mount Rushmore for stat guys in league history, and they're doing it together now in Denver. It's a pretty good story.
Well, and Denver did not look all that unbeatable early in the season. And now that they've thrown Westbrook into this thing with Jokic and Porter and Murray and Brown. Like, it's different now. Like, they are very hard to beat. And shout out, I mean, just good job, Denver. And then DeAndre Hunter, I'd like to give him some recognition because even in a blowout, even with Trey going for 30, even with Jalen Johnson out there, DeAndre Hunter did exactly what DeAndre Hunter's done all year. 7 of 14, 3 triples, 20 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. Yeah, like, you can lock that in every night. He's the most reliable player this season. That's not a superstar.
Yeah, Doc, and like we talked about, the point per minute thing, he's arguably the most efficient player in the NBA this year. DeAndre Hunter, don't hand Peyton Pritchard the 6th Man of the Year award just yet. Just saying. Probably going to win it. Just don't hand it to him yet. Doc, one more game to talk about here on New Year's Day, and we will soon bid these people a good night and a happy 2025.
Indeed.
It is Sacramento beating Philadelphia 113-107. Fox with 35, Monk with 20. DeRozan and Sabonis did their, oh my God, Sabonis had 21 rebounds tonight. On the Phillies side, no Joel Embiid, eye roll. Our guy Yabu did not play great tonight, 8 points. George had 30, Maxey had 27, and nickels and dimes from there. Really drab game. From a box score perspective, I'm not seeing a lot of draws. There's not a lot of not a lot of like activation. I see Keon Ellis in the starting lineup tonight. Maybe you look at him, but he's a streamer to me. Like, he had 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. That's all waiver wire stuff. The fantasy gold was really good. 2 blocks, 4 steals, and 3 threes. And so, with a new coach, with Mike Brown getting blown out, Keon Ellis now 38 minutes tonight here. So maybe Keon Ellis does become a thing here, Doc, as we move forward with a new coach.
Maybe. Brewski will be happy to hear you chirping about Keon Ellis. I still can't do it. I think we're a year away. Yabu is the guy that I want. Given Joel Embiid's history of missing games and given how well Gershon Yabusele has played this season, I want the dancing bear, not panda, as I called him in our last podcast. I want the dancing bear on my team. Give me Yabu. Mute.
All right, Doc, anything else for the people before we get out of here?
Shout out to Kyle Lowry for that 0.1 assist effort in a starting lineup tonight. Good job.
He had a Tony Snell game, didn't he?
Dude, he's like 57. It's hard to be mad at him. He's grandpa. Just like,
is he older than you?
He might be.
Is he doughier than you?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. This all reminds me of the how old are you, Doc? It reminds me of the Nate Bargatze Washington's Dream skit from Saturday Night Live when they go, "But sir, what's a hot dog made of?" Nobody knows.
Is that it? Is that the end of the joke?
Well, you need to watch the whole skit, but yes. What's a hot dog made of? George Washington? Because he's like, men, in our new country, we will be free and we will create foods and name them whatever we want. But fear not, a hot dog is not made of dogs. And they're like, what is a hot dog made of, sir? He goes, nobody knows. And it's
on that
pretty
note,
great.
We are so out of here. Doc and I will be back. I know I'll be back here. Doc, you're good here for tomorrow night? Thursday night? Midnight? Okay.
I'm locked.
And we will break down the slate of games that we talked about at some point here tonight. Oh, I did the preview what feels like 3 hours ago. Anyway, we out. For Steve Alexander, for our producer, Andre Lamouche, I am Rick Kamla, and this episode right here, proudly presented to you by Bet Online.